breakdown at the start of the 2025 Auburn football season. I'm here with Tyler Beeman today, junior at St. Michael. Pleasure to have you on the podcast. Today we're talking about Auburn and Oklahoma, Auburn's new head coach, and Bruce Pearl's retirement. Now, before going into the refereeing at the Oklahoma and Auburn game, Tyler, what are your takeaways from the 24-17 loss in Norman?
I think our defense looked very stout. We barely gave up any rushing yards. We held the top Heisman candidate in check. Our offensive line did not look great. 3 straight false starts on a drive.
10 sacks. Yeah, I agree with you on that one for sure.
I think Arnold held onto the ball too long on some of those sacks, and he needs to be more accurate on the deep ball.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on Jackson Arnold critiques. He needs to learn how to throw the ball away, because I feel like those 10 sacks, it would really only be 3 if Jackson Arnold learned how to throw the ball away, and if he hit Cam Coleman on those deep routes, we'd have a lot more time to put up more points on the board. We'd definitely score more. But like you were saying, rush yards, only 32 for Oklahoma. Our rush defense, our D-line, looking really good, and we did hold the Heisman candidate to pretty low yards. Though offensively, I think we should have ran the ball more.
I agree.
We only had 67 rush yards, and we really did not give it to Jeremiah Cobb at all, really. And when we did, he busted a big run right up the middle. What are your thoughts on that?
I think our game plan going into every game should be Jeremiah Cobb getting at least 15 touches.
Completely agree with that, yeah.
I feel like the rushing number is a bit skewed because sacks count as negative rush yards.
True. Jackson Arnold does have a negative 11 rush yards from sacks.
So, but I think handing the ball to Jeremiah Cobb should be our top priority because it then opens up play action downfield for Cam Coleman.
Yeah, completely agree there. And one thing I want to talk about is our red zone defense. I feel like we did really good. We held Oklahoma to a few field goals, pretty sure. At least 2 of them, which was pretty good because they were marching down the field and our defense held strong at the goal line or in the red zone. And I think that's pretty good for our purpose on moving forward. Now, the refereeing, the ones that we lost the game to. What are your thoughts on the awful officiating in that game?
Well, I knew we were going to be in for a long day in the first quarter when the fumble return touchdown got overturned.
Completely, yep.
The receiver had full possession, took 3 steps, turned upfield, and then he got stripped. I don't know how there was indisputable evidence to overturn that call.
Yeah, that's the thing now. You got to have indisputable evidence, and from the camera angles you were getting, number one, it looked like that was a clear fumble, and I'm not sure how you'd overturn it on those views. Though clearly, he catch it, he holds it out here, takes 3 steps, and then I think it was Falk. Did he knock it out? Maybe. Either way, fumble, return for like 40 yards for the touchdown. Would have put us up 7-0, and that got overturned. Really big one there. And then, of course, we got the illegal touchdown that everyone's really mad at the SEC about. What was that? Oklahoma's wide receiver, I think it was Satania, maybe.
I think so.
Went to the sidelines, like walk in, looked like he was going to substitute out of bounds, and then just stopped, put his thumb out, told the ref that he was there, wide open. Auburn never saw him, and I think I think that's illegal. What's your thoughts on there?
Based on the rules, he was walking towards the sidelines behind, well in the backfield, as if he was going to substitute out. But on top of that, our coaching staff saw what was happening and were trying to call a timeout, which the referees ignored.
Mm-hmm. And the big thing here is on the SEC's statement about that. It says this includes any hideout tactics with or without a substitution. And the ref's argument for when they reviewed it at the TV break, they said that since there was 11 players on the field, it was not a substitution. Clearly states with or without a substitution. And the SEC released a statement about in midnight, really, after the game, that the play should not have been a touchdown, should have resulted into a 15-yard penalty, and would have been second down. They would not have scored off that. And I think that was a very, very big swing in momentum. If that play was called fairly, we might have still had a shot in that game.
Because you look at the called back fumble return and that play, it's a 14-point swing. We only lost by 7 points.
Yep. And one of those plays, the fumble recovery, they got a score off that possession too. So really, 17-point swing.
And the penalty would have put them at 2nd and 33 outside of field goal range.
Yeah.
And the way our defense was playing, they weren't going to get any points off that drive.
Yeah, and don't worry, guys. There is one more bad call that happened this game. I'll show a graphic on it, but Cam Coleman absolutely tackled while the ball was still probably a good 3 feet above his head. No pass interference called, and that was on like a 40-yard bomb. I think it was 4th down, maybe. Either way, it was a pitch back and a lateral throw, and then our running back throws it all the way down the field. Not the best pass, but good enough for Cam Coleman. And right before he goes up for it, tackled by Oklahoma, no PI is called. Why do you think that the refs let that one slide?
The ref that was at that spot in the field, as the play was happening, had his back turned to the play.
Running for his life.
At that point, it is on the other officials on the field to back him up because he's trying to get out of the way for his own safety. I understand that. But you have to have accountability from your other officials to make the call.
Yeah, you could see the back judge had a perfectly clear angle through the hole and was able to see what was going on. Still wasn't called. I think they didn't call it because they thought that if anyone was going to call it, it'd be him. But then the moment had passed and it was too late. And really, all those things applied together with Jackson Arnold's mediocre performance and 10 sacks led us to a loss to Oklahoma by 7 points. But this brings us into our good sport, basketball. We are a basketball school now. That's Auburn. I think we've transitioned into that. But Bruce Pearl, the best Auburn basketball coach in history, decided to retire literally yesterday, nearly exactly 24 hours ago. That's when we found out about it. And he has appointed his son, Stephen Pearl, to coach. What are your thoughts of Bruce Pearl for the 11 years that he's been an Auburn Tiger?
Bruce Pearl is the coach who made me fall in love with college basketball. Watching our first Final Four run with Jared Harper, Bryce Brown, Juma Okeke, he brought a sense of life into a program that hadn't been prevalent since Charles Barkley.
Yep.
And all of his accomplishments in the program, in my opinion, we should name our court after Coach Pearl.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Neville Arena with Pearl Court. I mean, that's a good ring to it. I'm liking it, too. But Bruce Pearl, winningest Auburn coach. This happened that season. I'm not sure who he passed, but it was a really good one. He was AP Coach of the Year, SEC Coach of the Year, D1 Coach of the Year, multiple NCAA tournament appearances, 2 Final Four runs, multiple first-team All-Americans, multiple first-round draft picks, 2 SEC championships, and 3 regular season championships. Bruce Pearl is the best thing that's happened to Auburn basketball since Charles Barkley. He is the best coach that we have, and I think we might ever have, unless Stephen Pearl brings his father's blood back into this. But, yeah, Bruce Pearl, biggest legacy at Auburn. He's going into the Auburn Hall of Fame, and he should be in the College Basketball Hall of Fame. I think that he's best things happen at Auburn. Great, great hire, and I think we're still reaping the rewards from that.
You look at all of the talent that came through Auburn because of Bruce Pearl. Jabari Smith Jr., Walker Kessler, Janai Broome, just to name a few. And with Tahad Pettiford currently at Auburn, our future is still looking bright, especially with Stephen Pearl, who's been in Auburn since 2014 under his dad on the coaching staff.
Mm-hmm.
I think we might have a rough start to the year this year, but with the coaching staff remaining mostly the same, we're only going to have to fill one spot. I feel like moving forward, we're still in a really good spot with the program.
Yes. Basketball season's only 6 weeks away, and we're getting close to it. And I don't have extremely high hopes for this season. I know last year going into this, I was looking at that team. I was like, wow, this is going to be a good year. This year, we definitely lost a ton of seniors, CBM, Janai Broome, Miles Kelly, Denver Jones, Chaney, Dylan. We lost a lot of people this year. But we still get to keep Tahad Pettiford. We got a lot of good recruits coming in. Keyshawn Gilbert, I think, from Mississippi State. Really, really good recruits coming in. I think we're ranked 15th in the top 25 preseason right now. Not sure how our schedule is going to be. I'm not sure if did we do a two-way with Duke or we play at their stadium. Are they going to play at us this year?
We aren't playing Duke this year.
We aren't playing Duke. Well, I think it's going to be at least a good year. I think we're getting to the tournament as a 9 seed at the worst-case scenario. that's my plan there. Anything else you want to add about basketball season coming up?
I think that the SEC remains wide open with your top teams in the conference being Alabama, Kentucky, Florida, Tennessee, and I still think Auburn is in contention because of the culture
Yeah.
in the program.
Best home court advantage in this and the whole country, really.
I feel like Tahad Pettiford, I'm pretty sure he's a preseason National Player of the Year contender in the preseason. I feel like he's going to take on a huge leadership role this year and help lead us to at least a deep run in the SEC tournament.
I completely agree that this is going to be a rebuilding year, but it'll be a good rebuilding year at that.
I agree.
And that's pretty much it for this Auburn breakdown so far. If you would like to be on this podcast, make sure to check the description for the email below. Tyler, thank you for being on the podcast.
No problem.
Hopefully we'll have you on a few more times. And War Eagle.
War Eagle.